It feels like the world gets louder every single year, more unpredictable, more divided. We're bombarded by news, conflicts, algorithms, and deadlines. It's pure chaos disguised as normal life. And in that whirlwind, one question keeps echoing quietly in the back of our minds. How do we find any meaning when everything around us feels so meaningless? The philosopher Albert Camus once wrote that the only truly serious philosophical question is whether life is worth living. He looked out at a universe that offered no guarantees, no divine instruction manual, and certainly no final answers. To him, life was absurd, a fundamental contradiction between our deep hunger for order and the cold indifference of the world. But his response wasn't despair. It was defiance. The realization that life is absurd, Camus wrote, cannot be an end, but a beginning. We create meaning by choosing it, over and over again, in spite of the absurdity. Just a generation later, Viktor Frankl faced the extreme edge of that very question inside a Nazi concentration camp. He lost everything: his family, his freedom, and almost his life. Yet amid unimaginable suffering, Frankl saw light that refused to die. He observed that those who survived weren't necessarily the physically strongest, but the ones who still felt they had a reason to live. "He who has a why to live," he said, borrowing a line from Nietzsche, "can bear almost any how." This became the foundation of logotherapy. Frankl's belief that our deepest human drive isn't for pleasure or for power, but for meaning. He realized that even in absolute horror, we retain the freedom to choose how we respond. And that single choice has the power to transform our pain into a profound purpose. His own life proved it. Meaning isn't something you find waiting for you in perfect conditions. It's something you carve out of chaos with your own two hands, with your own human will. Now, contrast that with our world today. We live in a comfort-rich, meaning-poor age. For many of us, survival is easier than it has ever been in human history, but a sense of purpose feels more elusive than ever. We scroll endlessly through our feeds, connected to everyone, and yet grounded to no one. The ancient threats of famine and predators are gone, replaced by subtler, quieter ones: comparison, distraction, and the constant, relentless noise of modern life. And the result? A quiet kind of emptiness. Psychologists have a term for it: existential fatigue. It's that feeling of drifting without direction, even while you're accomplishing everything you've been told should make you happy. You get the degree, the job, the house, and still feel a hollow sense of, is this it? Modern positive psychology emerged as an answer to that hollow success. Researchers like Martin Seligman discovered that true well-being, a life that is genuinely flourishing, extends far beyond simple pleasure or achievement. It's built on 5 core elements: positive emotion, engagement in what you do, strong relationships, a sense of accomplishment, and crucially, meaning. Among all of these, meaning stands as the highest pillar because it connects us to something larger than ourselves. It could be a cause you believe in, a creative project, a spiritual belief, or simple compassion for others. Meaning is the anchor that holds us steady when the storms of chaos hit. It doesn't erase suffering. It organizes it into a story that's worth living. We can't stop the world from shaking, but with a strong sense of purpose, we can stop ourselves from shattering. But how do we actually find it, especially when everything feels so random and out of our control? The answer, it turns out, hides in small rebellions. Meaning isn't waiting for you in the clouds, revealed in a flash of lightning. It appears when we actively resist indifference. For Camus, this meant embracing life's absurdity and still choosing joy. He famously used the image of Sisyphus, the mythical king condemned to push a boulder up a hill for eternity, only to watch it roll back down. Camus imagined Sisyphus smiling as he descends the hill to start again, knowing that the struggle itself is his victory. His meaning is found in his defiance. For Frankl, it meant embracing responsibility. He advised us to live as if we were living for a second time, and as if we had acted as wrongly the first time as we were about to act now. It's about living as if you were being watched by someone you wish to impress, even when no one is looking. And for modern psychology, it's about living in alignment where you're small. Daily choices genuinely reflect your deepest values. Here's the great paradox. Meaning doesn't remove the chaos from your life. It gives you the strength to face it. In fact, the harder life becomes, the greater the room for meaning to grow. Psychologists call this post-traumatic growth. It's amazing how our minds can grow through pain, right? Losing your job hits hard and fear sets in, but there's more to explore. Your routine is gone. But if you dig deeper, a question waits. What part of me remains unbroken? Finding that answer could spark a new journey, maybe starting a business, chasing a passion, or committing to a cause. Camus calls it rebellion. Frankl sees it as responsibility. Here's another example. In a world that pushes constant comparison and competition, find meaning by helping someone who can't return the favor. Simple acts of service remind our brains that our significance isn't measured by likes or trophies, but by our impact, however small. Countless studies show that altruism lowers stress and dramatically strengthens our sense of purpose. In a world of chaos, kindness is an act of resistance. Meaning also grows from simple attention. When life is racing ahead in a blur of noise, just slow down. Take a moment to notice one ordinary thing. The way sunlight filters through a glass of water, the sound of unexpected laughter in a crowded street, the quiet, steady pulse of your own breathing. Camus believed that even appreciating fleeting beauty is a form of rebellion. It's choosing to see wonder in a world that has forgotten how. If absurdity says, nothing matters, then meaning answers back, everything can matter if I decide it does. The universe itself is neutral. You are the one who colors it through your choices. It's not the answers we find out there, but the meanings we make right here that keep us alive. So, keep pushing that boulder. Write the book that no one asked for. Love fiercely, even knowing that loss is certain. Choose to care when cynicism feels so much safer and easier. In that conscious act of creation, whether it's art, kindness, or just being present, you rebel against despair itself. Camus smiled at the absurd. Frankl grew stronger through his suffering. And modern psychology now measures what they both intuited, that human beings have the extraordinary ability to turn chaos into coherence through purpose. The world doesn't need to calm down for us to find our peace. We bring peace to our lives by giving our struggle shape and form. The question isn't, why is life so chaotic? It always has been. What will you create in the storm? Meaning isn't just found. It's forged. Every choice to act, love, and hope amidst the chaos shows, the world might be wild, but I'm not lost in it. Thanks for watching. If this hit home, consider subscribing for more.